Hi guys, welcome to the channel. It's something a little bit different today. Well, it's not that different because we've done this before, but we're actually in the middle of the countryside in Staffordshire and we're looking at a potential new project Defender. So it's a pretty exciting trip because we're at a site where they've actually got more than 10 dry stored barn find 110 county station wagons, varying in age from the mid 80s right up to the early 2000s. So they've got a whole range of vehicles. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to film everything, but I am going to be able to film obviously the vehicle that we're looking at in particular. There's also potential we're going to be able to see a very early 4-door Range Rover that might be for sale, that's in bits. So yeah, could be quite a lot to look at and I'm excited. So let me just go down there, introduce myself, say hello, and then see if it's okay for him to let me do some filming, and then hopefully I'll be showing you our new project vehicle. So to give you a bit of background history on this particular 110, I sort of go back to the beginning really, when we bought our first and current project vehicle. And interestingly enough, I found some documentation inside the vehicle that led me to the original owner. And I've been exchanging emails for some time now, knowing that they have quite a number of these vehicles in dry storage for whatever reason. Most of the vehicles they've got are TD5s, which we've already got, so we did want something different, but they did have right at the back of their storage unit a turbo diesel. Now I say turbo diesel because, as I mentioned in the intro, it's actually been upgraded in the past to a 200 TDI with an R380 gearbox. That was done by Land Rover themselves. This particular vehicle, this we'll call it the 200 TDI. This 200 TDI has done in total 150,000 miles, although the engine has only done 80. So that's really good because these engines now are getting really old and most of them have done close to 200,000 miles, so it's just really nice to find them what's got a low mileage and in such good condition. Now, had a look over it and it's just so honest. Now, it hasn't had a rear cross member, it's just been patched, and that goes for some of the outriggers as well. So it's been patched here and there, but it's been dry stored. Now, the interesting thing about this vehicle is it's been dry stored now for 10 years. And we literally tried to start it, but unfortunately the solenoid was sticking, so it took a bit of a bump start, and then it just fired straight up, and it sounded sweet as a nut. It really did. It sounded so good. It's very quiet, isn't it?
It's lovely, isn't it? It's just a lovely little unit. Watch the road down to it, mate. The turbo sounds nice and...
So we took it for a quick drive down the driveway just to check everything's working. The brakes were spot on. It's remarkable really how it's just stood the test of time, just sat there and it's just ready for action. And there's something that we all agreed on when we're looking at this this TDI. There's something reassuringly basic about these engines, about the vehicles of this age. Just get the plumes of smoke out the back. Yeah. It's so basic, it's so hard for it to go wrong, and if it does go wrong, it's so much more easy to fix. Everything works apart from the horn, so that's all good, but it does need some love. It needs obviously all the fluids changing, all the oils and fluids changing. They haven't been looked at for 10 years. We're going to go through all the hoses, make sure we haven't got anything that's perished, but you know, by all accounts, she is ready for action, and I think we paid a really good price for this vehicle. So moving on to the Range Rover, this was a little bit something special. I wasn't expecting, or didn't travel to see John and Andy regarding this. It was just mentioned to me that they had this vehicle, and I didn't know anything about it. I don't know an awful lot about classic old Range Rovers, but this is a very early 1972 4-door. Now, up to the 72, it was only a 2-door was available, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but this is one of the first 4-doors to come out, and again, it has been stood for ages. So it had some work done back in the 80s where it had a new engine fitted, which was fully balanced. It's had a new diff, but the diff is out of a different vehicle to give it higher top end speed. It's got new axles fitted. It's got a new gearbox. It is basically, it's mechanically been worked on, and then it was ready to receive some remedial work to the bodywork, and it just never got done. It just got stood and stood. The bodywork's been done to a point, but it's kind of the whole project's come to a halt really, just due to ill health and also just other projects getting in the way. So this vehicle potentially is for sale, although Andy is very passionate about it, and I think his sort of passion for it is going to probably outprice it for us as a project vehicle. And to be honest, I've got no idea what they're worth. It needs a clear out. Oh, that does sound nice. And I just don't know where I'd be. So any advice from you guys, if you've got the knowledge on these vehicles and you think you've got an idea of what that might be worth when it's had a full respray, bearing in mind it's not sort of totally concourse original because it's had some modifications back in the 80s. You know, you can't really call it completely original, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. So what do you think it's worth? Am I way off thinking it'd be worth 20 grand when it's all done? You tell me, and then we'll decide whether or not it's something we could take on as a project. It's a really nice, genuine, original example that's just been titified. It sounds amazing. I'm not sure if it's something that we ultimately can get as a project vehicle for the channel, but gonna have a little think about it, chat to some people, see what it's worth. Potentially that's another vehicle that we could get on the channel, but it was really cool to see it and really cool to sort of listen to the noise it made, which was amazing. I really enjoyed spending some time with John and Andy there. It's they're such nice guys, such genuine people, and they were really enthusiastic to sort of share their passion for Land Rovers with me. It's been a bit tricky to film today, so I haven't brought all my camera gear and everything, so I hope and the sound is probably not as good as normal because I've just used my phone. I didn't want to intrude too much on them privately because, you know, it's their own private collection. They sort of don't want to shout about where these vehicles are kept and everything, so hopefully I've shown you just enough. But obviously when we get the vehicle picked up, I'll do a full walk around and we'll go into more detail about what we're going to do to the vehicle. And I hope you enjoyed what you saw. If you did, please do give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.